My Mug episode 278 on Monday the 10th of March 2014. I am your host Stephen Layton. Welcome to In My Mug and welcome to the news. I feel like I've said that start quite a few times now, but I'm not changing it because I like it. So anyway, Wembley did not quite go how I'd hoped, but I did have lots of fun. Thank you for all of the lovely warm tweets and emails about the game, particularly from the Man City fans, the glory hunting, bandwagon jumping, nasty, horrible people who sent me horrible, nasty, gloating emails. No, actually, most of them were very kind, even if we were completely and utterly rubbish, but hey. In My Mug site has had a bit of a revamp. Do please go take a look at www.inmymug.com. I am very proud and pleased of the changes, but I'm always open and welcome to your feedback. We have a new video player as well, which has fixed many of the ills of the old one. Don't forget you can win tickets for London Coffee Festival every week just by sending us things in. This week it's Ask Dale, so you can ask our resident barista trainer Dale Harris a question about coffee in general. Send it through the normal channels, so Twitter, Facebook, email is the best, orders@hasbeen.co.uk, and we will pick those up and we'll pick a winner and we will find out who won. And that leads us on to our next bit of news, which is, let's look at this week's winner, who will get 2 tickets for the London Coffee Festival on a day of their choice, and it comes from the descriptor scale. Descriptor scale. So our descriptor scale comes in from Phil Pinnell, or Pinnell. And it says, Dear Steve and the team, seems strange sending into orders, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I didn't taste lemons at all, but when making the Kalita wave, my initial impressions were the smell you get from a box of freshly harvested apples on a warm summer's day. I like that because not only is it a taste, it's also thought-evoking. So, that was Descriptor Scale! Descriptor scale. And that was the amazing Sunderland Cup losing, descriptor scale loving, London Coffee Festival amazing news. And we're focusing on, and we're back on Bolivia as we were last week. We've got another Bolivia this week. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the actual country of Bolivia. So Bolivia is a democratic republic that's divided into 9 departments. Its geography is varied and has peaks of the Andes down to the lowlands of the Eastlands. It's in the Amazon basin. My brain is not catching up with my mouth today. It has a medium human development index score, which just means that it's not perfect at human rights, but it's not as bad as some places. Has a lot of poverty. Around about 53% of the population is considered to be within poverty. Its main industries are agronomy, agriculture, forestry, fishing, mining, manufacturing of goods such as textiles. They refine petroleum, and is incredibly wealthy in minerals, so mining is definitely a big part. Population is around about 10 million. The main language is Spanish, although there are 34 other indigenous languages that are classed as official languages as well. And that was Focus On. So that's enough of that stuff. Let's talk about coffee. And this is a coffee I am so excited to see back. It's in its 3rd year. It's also in its 3rd year of In My Mug. We also secured a honeyed and a natural version of it as well. But this is Bolivia Finca David Vilca Caturra washed. David is somebody who I like because he's so grumpy. And I can definitely relate to being grumpy. It's from the colony of Belinda, like lots of the coffees that we have in the north youngest region of Bolivia, very near to that town of Caranavi. Like, how much time have we spent in Caranavi? It's ridiculous. The farm doesn't have a name. Like lots of the farms in that area, they don't have names. So when I asked, I got told Finca David Vilca, and that's stuck for me. And I've tried to do that with lots of the farms in this area because I kind of think farms should be named after the people that farm them. David migrated to La Paz 15 years ago after his career in mining damaged his hearing. And so could no longer work safely in there. There's a lot of mining things around this week's in my mug. But he bought a 12-hectare farm for him and his family so they could work together and support themselves. And when he took over, he just had 1 acre of Carrillo. It's 12 acres in total. And after getting used to farming coffee, he then he wanted to plant more and extend the planting. And he now has 5 acres of coffee on the farm, which we have bought everything of. He has very little outside help on the farm, and David is 72, so he's no spring chicken, but he still gets around that farm like a spring chicken. But his wife really helps him, as does his family, and I was lucky enough to meet the family this year, and they're just amazing people. And I know I say amazing a lot, but he really is deserved in this case. So this year the coffee is at a bit of an unusual price. We actually have it priced as £5.10. And I'm going to explain why. So, visited David 3 times now, and I thought he was being rude to me. I must have been the first time I went. He was ignoring, not responding when I spoke, and didn't really seem to know what I was doing there or why the heck I was there. And as I said, he was a miner, and while he was mining, damaged his hearing. And I didn't know this, so. Damaged hearing is a fairly common thing, and you can fix that with hearing aids. And in the past, the exporter did give some money to David to get some hearing aids, but his wife bought a satellite dish for the TV. And you know what? They live in the middle of nowhere, and I'm sure she's very, very bored, and I'm sure it's completely with David's blessing. So he didn't have any hearing aids. So on my last visit, I offered to pay to get him some hearing aids, and he didn't want charity from me, to be fair to him, and I completely respect that and understand that. So I said to him, instead of charity, how about we charge a little bit more for your bags, and that way customers can pay for the hearing aids, and he agreed that was a good idea, so that's what we've done. Just before Christmas, I received the most loveliest email from him, which said he can't wait to hear me next time I visit. And I think he'll regret that quite deeply, but it's amazing. It made me feel very warm inside. So you did that, guys. You did that by being an In My Mug subscriber and by buying this coffee. So we should go through the numbers. The farm is called Finca David Vilca. It was founded in 2001. It's from the province of Caranavi in the region of North Yungas in the colony of Belinda. It has an altitude of 1,570 metres to 1,600 metres. The farm is 7 hectares and 5 hectares planted with coffee, so 12 hectares in total. Quantity of plants is 20,000, and the coffee variety is mainly Caturra with a tiny bit of Criolla and Typica, which he is slowly removing from the farm. So it is now time for Roland's Daft Fact of the Week. Well, on the subject of mining, Bolivia is the 6th biggest producer of tin in the world. Bet you didn't know that. I have no idea why there was a raspberry on the end of that, Roland. But I didn't know that, and that was an interesting fact. So Bolivia is the 6th biggest producer of tin in the world. Wow, there you go. So now it's time for the map bit. I'm going up in the sky and I'm going to go and see Mr. Vilca. I always like going to see David's house. This is slightly less painful than last time and a lot less air travel involved. But we're going across to South America and there is the wonderful continent, but we are interested in Bolivia. So we're going to zoom down to Bolivia. Bolivia, neighbouring Brazil. Brazil neighbours everywhere, though, so it doesn't really count. And we have our fact. So Bolivia has the world's largest deposits of salt and lithium. Isn't that interesting? See, full of interesting. It's not just Roland that has interesting facts. It's me too. But we're going to zoom down and we're going to look to Carnarvon. You must love this place by now. You must know it super, super well. So here is the view from the mill. You may have seen some photos that I did while I was on my last trip, and this is where the mill exactly is. So there we go. You can kind of see lots and lots of detail for Carnarvon. So this is the road building place now that you see in there. They're developing the road between La Paz and Carnarvon. But we are going to zoom down to the farm. I've got a frog in my throat. There we go. It's gone. So there's David Vilca's farm. Now, I have exact coordinates for David's farm. That is his house that dot is on because I took a photo there. But for some reason, Google Earth doesn't like taking photos of David's farm, so you can't see it. But I'm going to make up for that by giving you a lovely aerial view. And the lowest point of Bolivia is 90 metres. I'd like to know for sea level. I'd love to know where that point is because I've only ever been out of breath there. And that was the wonderful map bit. So we are back. I am going straight into this espresso because I love this espresso. I am looking forward to this a lot. So for me, you get like a milk chocolate and there's a walnut there as well. But the biggest part for me is you get this pear. There's like a pear mashed in with this milk chocolate just kind of sloshing around. And I don't know if you've ever had those like poached pear kind of thing. It's that kind of texture thing too. It really is good. It's really good. Really, 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 really good. Now worry a little bit with a coffee like this and it'll get lost in the milk. But I think there's still enough power to come through there. The pear definitely dissipates and it disappears and it turns much more into this kind of like mixed berry kind of acidity with that milk chocolate still punching through. But very, very, very delicious. Really does hold its own in that milk. Don't ask why. This is Dale. Dale's giving me this cute. I don't know what I'm meant to do with the rest of it afterwards. Like, there's a little bit too much there, even for me. But let's. So this is really hot, like really hot, and probably doesn't do it justice yet. And I am going to dive back in. I've only put like half a cup because I want it to cool down a little bit. But while it's hot, it's just very basic Bolivian coffee, so chocolatey, rounded, balanced, and none of that acidity. I know as this cools, this is going to open up like these have opened up, and it is going to be really amazing. In fact, I'm going to pop it down for a little bit, and I'm going to have a little bit of a palate cleansing tea. This is how we roll in here at the minute. I'm trying all sorts of craziness. So don't forget to get in your questions for Dale. I really could do with some of those ones for next week. Interesting ones came up off the last one, and that's why I'm ready to do it again. And this is your opportunity to win 2 tickets to get into London Coffee Festival, which is going to be held in around about 4 weeks' time. There will still be another couple of options going forward as well after this, so please do keep them coming in if you haven't had a chance yet to win them. We've had lots and lots of entries. It's been amazing. Really, really good. Don't forget, I'm going to be competing in the Brewers Cup for that as well. My coffee arrived today. Oh my days, it's amazing. I cannot wait. And if I win, I may do it as an in my mug, if I can get enough of it. So it's cooled a little bit now, and there we go. That pear that was there before in the espresso has come running through. It's poached pear with milk chocolate, and that walnut is definitely there as well, and it is just amazing. It's super complex. You don't expect that from Bolivians. We were talking about this last week, but I think we've really found some Bolivians that are in that really complex, delicious area, and really have. We do well in Bolivia, and that's because we have some really good friends there who really look after us. So, in my mug site. Please tell me what you think. Please tell me that if there's any problems with it, if you found any faults or issues. The new video player I am really happy with. It plays a lot easier, and I've tried it on lots of different browsers. It seems to work well. We're constantly trying to get that better. And also trying to make it easy for you to subscribe as well if you want to be do the direct debit option. That's now on that website. Right, time to wrap up. Thank you for joining me as always, and do remember, life is definitely too short for bad coffee.
Hay personas. Ya te lo están escuchando. Cuando ya está pita la gente ya no quieren cosechar.
Claro.